Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how I created this piece with the Archer and Olive Acrylograph pens. So as you can see, I used washi tape to create a border just so that it had really clean, sharp edges. I knew that I wanted this piece to be a landscape and that I wanted that landscape to include a sunset, but that's all I really knew about this piece before I started it. So the first pen I chose was the red colour from the Jewel collection, and I decided to put that right at the top so that it gave a little bit of darkness to the sky. I used the paintbrush to spread it out a little bit and to just move it slightly downwards so that it would blend into the next colour. The next colour I used was the pink from the Tropical collection, and I just repeated the exact same process that I'd done previously with the red pen. I then continued this with some of the other lighter tones in the collections. And then moved on to some of the brighter colours, which will be directly behind the mountains that I paint. So once I got this blended gradient, I decided that I really wanted to add some more texture and interest to the sky. So I took the same coloured pens again and drew in lines above and below that same colour. You'll see what I mean here, where I'm taking the same colour and moving it upwards a little bit and downwards a little bit, just using small lines and dots. I chose to do this because I really wanted to take advantage of the fact that I was using pens and not paint. So I thought it was a really unique thing that you can only really get when you're using pens or really fine paintbrushes. So again, I did the same thing with all of the colours and just drew lines above and below. And I feel like in the end it gave a really interesting look to the sky. I added some mountains to the middle of this piece in the same red colour that I'd used for the very top of the sky. I then decided to take the navy blue from the Jewel collection and just use it to add some texture and shadows to the mountains. So I added more of this on one side of the mountain than the other so that it gave an indication as to where the light was coming from. And I also added more to the mountain on the left just to give the impression that it was slightly behind the mountain on the right. I then used a couple of the green colours to make it look as though there were trees close to the mountains. I did this by adding some small little marks just across the middle of the painting. I then added a little stream or river coming from the centre of the image down to the bottom, and if you keep it smaller at the top and extend it a little bit at the bottom, then it creates that idea of perspective as though the stream is flowing away from you. So for this I did the exact same thing as I did with the sky, where I just drew some on and then used a paintbrush to help blend it out a little bit. The next thing I did was colour in basically the entire white area with the olive green from the Jewel collection. I just did tiny little circles and squiggles and then went in with the paintbrush to blend it in again. And I did this over the entire white section, and I feel like it worked really well to create the idea of it being grass. It definitely had some texture there, so I was really pleased with that. Then I added some purple areas to the stream, and I just basically went on with little lines just to add a little bit of texture again, and it just makes it look like there's a little bit of movement to the water as well. One small thing I did that I feel made quite a big difference is that I went in with the green just on the side of where I've drawn the stream. And I feel like if you overlap it a little bit over the stream, it helps give that impression that it's leaves and grass that are hanging over the stream a little bit. So I added this little bit in, and I feel like it made quite a difference. If you've seen my artwork before, then you'll know that I love adding dots to everything, so I had to do the same here. I added dots of a similar colour to the grass that was closest to the mountains and sort of brought them downwards a little bit. I don't really think they have a specific purpose in the landscape, like they're not a specific tree or anything like that, but I feel like they added a little bit of extra interest, so I was really happy with that. The next thing I did was add some little white areas on the stream. This just makes it look as though the water's moving a little bit, and it adds some little highlights to it as well. I then added some snow to the top of the mountains with the white acrylograph pen. A little bit later on you'll see that I do actually add a little bit of blue on top of the mountain on the left, and that's again to create the idea that it's a little bit behind the one on the right, so it's a slightly darker colour. wanted to bring some of the colours that are in the sky down to the bottom of the illustration, so I added some flowers in the mustardy yellow colour and one of the pink colours. I only really added them to the bottom and put some dots and some marks that looked a little bit like petals as well, just to kind of fill the area at the very front. I put some of the green colour as well that I'd used for the dots nearest to the mountain, just to look like stems and leaves. Here I'm just adding my signature to the corner. And then I'm just peeling the washi tape off, which has got to be the most satisfying part. I peeled the tape off, I thought that the sky was just missing something, so I added a crescent moon and some little stars dotted about. This is the finished piece. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's not my usual style because I'm not used to working with paint pens, so it was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed it and I really enjoyed using these pens. If you haven't seen it already, I did do a first impression video of what I think about these pens. I'll link it in the clickable I button above and in the description below if you want to see that as well. Feel free to subscribe to see more similar videos to this in future. Thank you for watching, I'll see you in my next video.